Nintendo Switch 7-month impressions. The classic number that you do, don't you? You wait for 7 months, then you give your impressions on a bit of hardware. You don't do 6 months, do you?
No, we don't. No, you don't. Half a year plus one.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
go that extra mile.
Exactly,
Extra
makes
month.
much more sense. Gets a lot. We get better viewpoints out there. But you've got myself apps and Adkins here, and the Switch has been out for, give or take 7 months, a few days, whenever this airs, and I think Adkins kind of wanted to express his opinion of it. He's having a little bit of a Switch buzz at the moment, and thought maybe we could recap our journey through this year and this opening half a year, to see what we think of the Nintendo Switch and perhaps look towards the future at what it might hold. Opening thoughts, Mr. Adkins. What do you think of this hybrid console / handheld that Nintendo have delivered to us?
Absolute fucking trash. I want my money back. No, so yeah, I remember I was going to listen back. I forgot to listen back to it about opening thoughts when we both got them on day one.
Yes.
We was all giddy, weren't we? And
loving it.
We were amazed by this thing. So yeah, I'm still impressed with it. It's come with a few hiccups, I must admit. Only on my end, really. Yours has been pretty flawless.
It's been alright.
But yeah, as a whole, there's been enough games there. Play-wise, I probably would have wanted to play it a bit more than I have.
Yes. Yes.
But I think if I wasn't so gamer heavy on the PS4, it probably would have got a bit more light. But there's been some big titles this year that have taken the top slots and taken a bit of attention away from the Switch. But as a whole, I'm impressed what the last 7 months have had, and I'm looking forward to what else we have in store. Yourself?
Yeah, no, I definitely echo that. It's a great piece of kit, and playing it in handheld is something I didn't think I would do, and it's something I do. So which is good, and playing it with being able to dock it as well is really handy when I can't be asked to, have it in bed or whatever. But
yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of people ask that question, don't they? How much, what variation do you use? How many times do you use tabletop mode?
Once I've used tabletop mode. Yeah,
I've got to say I don't think I have. I've once. I think just to show off that it does it, but I've never sat down and played it in that mode before. But what would you say you tend to go for? Handheld, TV?
Depends on the game. Like Zelda, I pretty much played exclusively on TV mode. I've done a few handheld sessions, but in general, once I got the Pro controller, I was like, right, I'm going to play this in console TV mode. But game like Splatoon, I've been playing a lot of that in handheld.
Right.
So really game to game, and also because it's now where I've put it. It's now back in the gaming room or the office area.
Right.
So if I want to just go to bed and play something for a couple of hours, it's perfect just to pick it up and take it upstairs, and then put it in my sock drawer and I'm done with it.
Right.
keep it nice and close.
That's it. It's good putting in there. What about your gaming time? Have you played it as much as you thought you would, or?
I definitely have struggled to give it the time it deserves, and that's the way I've viewpointed that it definitely deserves to be played more than what it is. And some of the games that we're going to go through definitely deserve to have been played more, but really it has been neglected. And I think that I agree with what you said. Like, if we didn't play if we weren't as into game as we are, we'd probably play it more, because it's perfect for a kind of that kind of viewpoint. But where we love playing all the new releases that are coming out, and we've just been spoilt this year with game after game, month after month. There's just stuff coming out that we all want to get our hands on and play. At times, it's been not switched on for a good month. Like 30 full days, didn't go on for 1 month at least, which is a shame, because it deserves better. And some of the titles they have released definitely deserve to have some big commitment given to them.
Yeah, definitely. I took mine away to Centre Parks with the intention of playing it because I had no other distractions, but I couldn't even turn it on. I don't know why. I was just hit a lull with it. But all of a sudden, I buy this indie game that we'll talk about later, and the spark's back.
Yeah.
So
it does come down to the games that will dictate your kind of enjoyment of it. I mean, you've not completed Zelda yet, for example.
No.
And that's something that I was, I thought you may have done. Obviously, that came out on release. And if we transition, I guess, into some of the first party games, like what better place to start with Zelda? The reviews that I gave, it's fantastic. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts because you've not, had the positive, well, it's probably positive, but not the drive to finish it. And it's a very
that's right.
It is what it is. You know where the finish line will be when you work through the game. So it's not like it's one of those things where you think, I don't know when this is going to end, so I won't even bother going down that. No, there's a very clear, transparent, route to victory in this. So why do you think that hasn't quite resonated with you to give it the completion?
I think it is because it's the type of game it is. I think because I know it's the end. With any other game I play, and I sort of think, I wonder how this is going to end. What's going to happen? With this, I can see, like you say, I can see the end. I know I'm going to that fucking castle. So anyone who buys the game knows they're going to that fucking castle straight away. So I don't feel, well, I do feel a pressure now because I've set myself a target of getting it done before Mario comes out. Yes. But what I quite like about the game is it's so big that it can be played in dribs and drabs.
Yeah.
So that's the way I've sort of done it at the minute. I'm sort of I'm doing a big session and I'll try for one of these beasts. And then, whereas I normally go back to the game, it's not... I know it's a fantastic game, but there's something that's holding me back from being really invested in it. Yes. It's not hooking me by the short and curlies.
Yeah, I found that it wasn't hooking me, and I kind of had to make a conscious effort to commit like a week or so. I think it was about 10 days I committed just doing some big sessions on it to get it over the line. But I had the exact same kind of thought. I was like, I know this is a fantastic game, I am enjoying it, but I didn't have that hook to keep pulling me back. I think it come out at a bit of an awkward time as well. If you remember, I think 3 days before Horizon Zero Dawn came out.
Oh, yeah.
And we were all over that. You went off and platinumed it.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to have to put it down to distractions because... Yeah, like you say, I try and fault the game. I'm sort of thinking, it's too long. Should only be 2.5 hours long, like the films. But it's a phenomenal game, and I can't diss it. But it's not got that hook in me yet. I'm looking forward to finding out the end and what carries on. But it's the DLC as well. I want to have a little sniff at because that has been.
Yes.
Half released, is it? We've got one more to go?
Got one more to go, this winter. So I was going to ask you, is that you got any temptation to wait for that? And then
I am, yeah. I've had a little look at what's already available, and is that Trials thing, is it? Yeah, so that's nothing I'm not sort of breaking the bank to get that just yet. I've not really seen much about it, but I think I'm going to wait for the full package and see if they still do the season pass. The thing that I don't, with a lot of these first party games, they're not going to be dropping in price like PlayStation games, are they? They seem to hold their price well, these games.
Yes.
But are you looking forward to that last piece?
Yeah, I mean, I planned to play the first piece, kind of, and that come out, and I think I may have completed the game just before it come out and it released the whole new load of stuff, and then I was like, I don't want to go back just yet. So plan is, this is what I put in my head, was to, once DLC Pack 2 rolled around, I'm assuming that'll be the end of the support for it and they won't be releasing much in the way of sort of added content, although I think they could definitely just do that, just add a few more dungeons or whatever and whatnot. But the plan is to start a new game and go through it game with everything that's got to offer. Whether or not that comes to fruition, we'll see, but that's the plan, and with no pressure to finish it because I've already kind of got over that line, but just to perhaps spend even more time exploring places that I kind of, at the first quarter of the game, every nook and cranny, I knew where everything was. If there was a pimple on someone's arse, I knew it was there. And towards the back end, I definitely just was like focusing on the main task and getting them done.
It's definitely that type of game, and it's sort of like your Skyrims, your Fallout, where the game is most enjoyable. The story is brilliant, but the game itself is so enjoyable when you just go off on a weird adventure on your own and stumble across some random thing. It's definitely one of those type of games.
Yeah.
But all positive for Zelda.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess sort of the next big one that we all purchased and got was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Shameful commitment I've made to that. I've done very little in the way of playing it. I think I've done all the I think there was like I played for every course, got a medal in each course. Then the credits rolled. It was that's a weird way of completing it. Then I thought, right, I'm gonna get online and start playing with you boys, and we'll have like a weekly Mario Kart session. But it just hasn't come to fruition.
No, it hasn't.
It?
It really hasn't. No, I'm just having a little look on here to see how many hours and stuff. So no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only. Oh, that's the only thing with these. You can only see it says up to 5 hours. So yeah, you've probably played it for around about 5 hours, probably a bit more because I don't know how this reads. Probably the same, similar to me. Yeah. On mine, I'm showing. What am I showing? I am showing 15 or more.
Right. And have you played mostly online with that, or is that something or have you just been playing doing a GP? Like 150cc or whatever.
I don't think I've ever played it online, actually. No.
You've had people around though, haven't you?
Yeah, I had a little Switch party. I had three of the friends round, and we've all had it on the TV and that. That was quite good. Got a few hours out of that.
Sure.
And then, much like yourself, I just go through the Grand Prix and that, and trying to get all the gold medals.
That's it.
Had to go on 200 and then got absolutely blitzed. I was like, all right, well, that's that been then. But no, it's a brilliant game, and it is awesome for sort of like little parties. Like if you've got nothing to do, you've got a couple of mates round. Yeah. Flip them Joy-Cons and it's a great game. But again, like you say, it hasn't got the attention it needs. No, it deserves.
It's definitely a shame. I'd like to say the excuse is because I played it on the Wii U, but I didn't.
Well, no,
me neither. You did either. So it's not like we were kind of worn out. Someone like Salmon who had played it hundreds of hours on the Wii U. I can understand if he come to me and said I've only done 10 hours and I've had enough of it. But this is that's the first Mario Kart game I've played in donkey's years. First one I've owned. But ever, I think. I don't think I've ever owned one. I used to go around Stubbos and play it on the SNES, Super Mario, and then Hall had it on the N64. But
yeah, probably my most anticipated title on this Switch as well. I was buzzing for that.
Yeah, but still, again, great game. It hasn't got the time it's deserved.
No, it's one of the ones that will stay with us as well. I'm not going to be getting rid of it, so we'll always have it on the locker, ready to get back into it at some point.
Absolutely. ARMS.
This is one we both missed out on.
Both decided against buying this.
Yeah. Did you play the beta? The demo, or whatever it was? Global test?
I think I downloaded it, but again, because they were fucking about inconvenient times.
But that is one thing with this Switch, is their fucking global test times.
They're garbage, aren't they?
It's mental, yeah. Right, if you can have a demo or a beta, just do it like everybody else. Stick it on for a weekend, and boom. Why do these apps? It's not even an hour. It's 59 minutes. 59-minute slot.
Well, the crack of dawn on a Saturday morning.
It is. It's like, I don't know if it's on Japanese time, so we get it about 7 in the afternoon or 7 in the morning or something. So you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah. So for that reason, I didn't get a chance to do the global test punch, as they called it. Did you get a go at it?
I did have a little go, yeah. It felt all right. It felt quite gimmicky, though. I'm not a fan of, even though it's probably one of the biggest features of a Nintendo Switch, is the motion controls. Really don't like that. Like in most of the games I've played it, Mario Kart, I haven't used it. I turned it straight off in Zelda. Yeah. So yeah, with ARMS, I tried to use that, and then I just switched straight back onto controls. But as a fighting game, it's not too bad. It's obviously not on the. I'm quite a big fighter game fan, and it's not on the sort of nowhere near the level of like your Street Fighters, your Mortal Kombat's, Injustice, and that. So it's a bit gimmicky. There's a few little added things. So the characters didn't really stick out to me. They just looked like generic. What was his fucking name? Like Slaphead Man? No, was it? Spring Man or something?
Yeah.
Slaphead Girl or something. I was like, wow. So yeah, like yourself, it didn't really, it didn't grab me. Didn't give me the hook. So I thought, I ain't paying 45 quid for this bastard. Yeah. So it slipped the radar. What about yourself? Did it same similar for you?
It was never going to register. I just couldn't. I just didn't see any potential in me bothering to play it. Primarily, it's an online game.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's a fighting game. I'm terrible at them. I literally am poor. I liked Injustice because it had a decent single player component to it, but competitive online fighting game is probably like my least favourite. That's not a knock on the game. That's just my preference. And I just and like you said, it looked a bit gimmicky, and I thought, does it feel like a £45 game? UK new £10 notes, whatever they're doing now. Like 4 of those plus a fiver. I don't know, plastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But yeah,
I'm surprised to see what Salmon, because he's a massive fighting game fan, and he loves the Nintendo game. So I wonder why he didn't get it. He normally gets all the day ones.
Yeah, no, that's probably one of the few ones that he's not got as well. Yeah, because I know he's bought Rabbids, which is out, and obviously Splatoon, but Arms just didn't. I don't think it's quite captured the imagination. It's a new IP, obviously a little bit more difficult, maybe.
Yeah.
But if it was £25, maybe I would, just out of curiosity. But
like I said, incentive.
Yeah, I had Zelda sitting there, not finished at that point. I had Mario Kart less than 5 hours in or whatever it is, and I thought Arms is not even going to get 10 minutes compared to those two like juggernauts of the Nintendo library. How is Arms going to even worm its way in for a session? I just thought it's not cost effective to do that. Bin it. And if it gets like amazing reviews and gets a buzz, then by all means I'll change my mind. But it kind of got decent reviews, good reviews, and I thought, you know what, I can skip over this. There's no real story to lose and worry about, so had to just let that one go. Splatoon 2, follow up to Splatoon.
The online game that's going to get us. Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've played the campaign today. Got through one of the sections in it, but you're right to say the online game that I thought this is the one. Hasn't worked with Mario Kart, and I was like, right, Splatoon 2, everyone's going to be playing that. And once again, I think I've only played with Salmon once on that, and that wasn't even on purpose. That was an accident. It just put us in the same lobby one night. I was in there playing with him.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. That's excellent. I played with Piper once, and we couldn't get a game together. We just kept getting put on opposite teams.
And was you in a party to do that? Was you in like a lounge to do that? Like, did you set that up? That
you go into a lobby.
That sort of stuff. You just think, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. And another thing was this, again with their silly flipping time schedules, they released that salmon run mode and put that in an hourly.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
that's another blower from the young Nintendo boys.
I don't know what that's all about. That's offline sometimes during the day, and it's just like, why is that not? That's the 4-player like cooperative kind of horde mode almost.
That's the one.
I thought that'd be great for 4 of us to go through and play, but we haven't done it. And like you said, it's off sometimes. It's just like down. In certain parts of the day.
Peculiar. But as the game as a whole, like it's quite enjoyable. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite. I actually love the visual style and the sound and the music, and I like everything about it. Actually, I think it's a great game to look and play, and it's unique. You know, you're using cover, which is actually the floor in your ink. So there's a lot of like strategic moments that you have to employ and be very aware about your surroundings. And I think it's a really good game. And I was enjoying my session with it today. Done about 90 minutes, and I was like, this is going to get a weekly, get through the campaign and then start going back online for some games and try and stir up some of you fuckers to get on there as well.
I do like that. I like that the games are pretty short as well, the online, especially that, was it Turf Wars or whatever it's called?
Yes.
About 3 minutes
That's it.
A level, so you
Perfect.
can pick it up, have a couple of games, put it down again.
Yeah, and if you're having a shit game, it's over quickly. Like your misery isn't like drawn out over 10-15 minutes. Like I remember playing fucking Battlefield, and you go in those conquest modes. I think it was Battlefield 4, and it used to take about 45 minutes, and you'd be like, bloody hell, we're losing, you're not going to get this back. And the misery of the match would just continue. Whereas this, it's like, before you've even realised you're probably not going to win, it's over, and you're on to the next game. So
good idea, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario Rabbids.
Yep. That was one. I've been sniffing at this. I was watching some lass on YouTube having a little playthrough because it did. I saw the Rabbids thing and I thought, this is just going to be
garbage.
That's it. No expectations of this game. It's just a cash in from the Nintendo boys. Just get two franchises together. Yeah. And then they release a trailer and you think, cool, hello, this is an actual game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gets XCOM linked with it.
Yeah, it seems to be that sort of game style, kind of like turn-based combat, essentially. And what surprised me more is that Nintendo, I'm sure that they've been heavily kind of consulting and helping with the development and whatnot, but Ubisoft are primarily developing this, so they've actually allowed them to have access to their most famous IP, and I think that's positive, and obviously that means there's obviously a very good working relationship between Nintendo and Ubisoft, and it seems like it's created something quite unique, quite charming in a way, and it's something that I definitely would love to pick up once I've got through some of my other commitments on the Switch. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Kingdom Battle, yeah. It's definitely one that's on the radar. It's not one that it's not a day oneer for us, definitely, is it?
No.
But no, I definitely am sniffing and keeping an eye on it. But yeah, and it seemed to do all right, hasn't it? Probably like review wise and stuff, it seemed to be on the positive side of 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another good game that they've released on the Switch. A few gems on there, really, haven't they, for this last 7 months?
Yeah, I think it's been strong for like some of the big games that have come out, and we'll get on to maybe what 2018 holds, and that's a little bit more concerning because I don't know what they're going to do. No. But they're going to go out of a bang because 27th of October, Super Mario Odyssey, the new 3D Mario game, looks terrific from what I've seen. Really looking forward to this. This is a day oneer for me. Yep. And it'd be good to have a fully fledged Mario game back and playing. The last one I played was Galaxy 1.
Yeah, so same here.
Looking forward to drilling this one.
Before then would have been for me N64 days, Mario 64. What a game that was!
Yeah, so, I didn't even get to play that because this is one thing. This is the first Nintendo console I've owned. So.
Oh really? Well, I had them as kids, but that was when I didn't complete games and wasn't a real. I didn't. I just sort of played a bit of a level and then turned it off. Didn't even save it. Just turned it straight off. Start again. Permadeath. Yeah. In every game I played.
It's the way to do it. But, so I think Odyssey looks great. The kind of like the Cappy mechanic where you can take control of things in and around the world looks like it's going to have a lot of variation and add to it. One thing that's slightly I've seen, heard, don't know if it's completely confirmed, but I've been told there are motion controls in it, and some of the. I don't know if it's a requirement to have it switched on to do some of the moves. I can't imagine it will be. But if it is, and that could be a pain in the arse. Yeah,
I've seen a few little things myself. Yeah, like hopefully the normal controls are fine. I don't mind that. If it'd be a bit weird. Like if you have to shake the Joy-Cons and stuff. I don't know. But if you're in handheld, man, you got to do disconnect it and start running and stuff. But like no, but it's mainly the main controls. Just to move and that. If I have to do that motion control, I'll be livid.
Yeah.
But they're dropping quite a lot of information, and there's a lot of gameplay videos out there. Are you shying away from them, or?
No, I kind of been watching it. I'm not following it and hunting out the information, but I'm definitely not shying away from it too much. I want to be surprised to some extent, but I'm happy to take on information about it. Absolutely. So, but I think we're close enough now where I could leave it and just wait for the game, and when it drops. Get that downloaded and get it up and running, then hopefully send Switch out of a bang for the end of the year.
Yeah, there's some big titles, isn't it? For a mainline Zelda, a mainline Mario, a Splatoon. You got your Mario Karts. It's only really the old Smash Brothers and a Metroid, which we know. Well, Smash has been rumoured, isn't it? And then and Metroid is coming, so they've all got the heavy hitters there.
Absolutely. One game I wanted to touch on is one that you've played, and it's not strictly a first party game, and again, nor was Rabbids, but it was Capcom's Street Fighter 2 updated version of this. So What? I mean, I can understand why you've got it because it's Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, yeah,
One.
yeah.
How does this version of it play? Is it one of the better versions of it, or
It
you're glad
is.
you bought it?
I'm going to put this out there. I
Yeah.
didn't buy it, and that is one of the main
Gift.
reasons why I own it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this was the whole torture in my head was, why am I paying? I think it retails. You can pick it up for about 30, I think. Now
Yes.
that's probably about 28. Is probably about your cheapest you can get it for, but that's for a
Yes.
25-year-old game.
Yeah.
That's only really been a little bit jazzed up. It's like a re-release of a re-release.
Yes.
So it's not really much. It's got the main crux. It's got a bit more updated graphics. They've bolted on a few extra modes that really don't do it just like they're fun little add-ons, but it's not worth going out and paying 30 quid for. Yeah, because I'm a big fighter game. I ordered it for my birthday. Ordered it. It delivered. I've enjoyed playing it. I played a little bit online with Sam, and he's whooped my ass quite a few times. I think we played. I can't remember. We played about 10, and I think I beat him about 3.
Not bad. 3.
No, not bad. I've got a couple of good wins. He kept being Sagat, and then and whooping my ass, and then on the last fight, I beat him, and he was Sagat. I was well happy. I literally cheered like out loud.
Turn it off now.
Yeah, I was like, well, I ain't playing anymore. It took me ages to courage up to fight him because I knew how good he was. He whooped me on PC first, so yeah. But it's quite fun. It's another one that you will pick up, have a couple of fights, and then put back down again. But as a price point and stuff, I wouldn't go out and pay 30 quid for it. To be honest, it's a £15 game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and that's one thing I have seen that concerns me slightly about the platform. I've seen in the media, in the news, they've quoted it the Switch tax, i.e. some games are coming out £5-10 more expensive on cartridge because developing them for that platform and that medium is more expensive to the developer, so they pass on the cost to us as a consumer. So that is a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
And not ideal. I'm hoping the big boys will just suck up the costs, but I know there are games out there that have released for extra on the Switch compared to its other platform counterparts, and might be something just in the early days whilst sales might be a little bit slower or they're not sure of it. They've just thought, well, the customer can eat that for now, and if it starts ramping up and they see it's selling well, they can take a hit back. But
I heard a rumour yesterday, actually, on the subject of Street Fighter, that Capcom are really sort of apprehensive about the Switch. They're sort of testing, like they only put out that Street Fighter, just to test. They've put one title, Monster Hunter, out in Japan, and they're testing that water as well. Because apparently they haven't put their faith in it. I suppose because they've been burned a couple of times before. What was Street Fighter 5?
I'd say to Capcom, fair enough if you want to test it, but don't chuck out a re-release of Street Fighter 2 and go, right, that's the thermometer, that's how we're going to read the success of this platform, because don't overprice it like you have, and perhaps you'll get a more accurate forecast of where the potential of the Switch is. More people, I'd love more support for it, so even if it is Capcom, doing what they do. Are they bringing that Resident Evil Revelations to?
Yeah, that's been confirmed, isn't it, for the end of the year? I think it's late November, early December time. 1 and 2, I think, has been confirmed, or 1 this year and 1 next year. So that's another one. Capcom easing a couple of games in.
Where we get easy ones, didn't they? Little scrub ups of other versions of the game. But
Revelations was 3DS release. At first, I think, wasn't it?
Yes,
and then
it was.
Buffed that up.
Some people saying that was the best Resident Evil game they've released in a long time. Those Revelations ones. So that has potential for me. I've never played the Revelations one. So
no, I've got both on Puss, but not Master Race. That was not Puss. But I haven't gone down to them. But again, like yourself, I've heard they're decent. The best.
Even if it's available on other platforms, some of these games, I am tempted to get them on Switch just for the potential convenience. And that is definitely a selling point for it. Like, we'll talk about some of the the smaller titles that have probably been released on it, the Nindies and some of the other third-party developers that have got stuff in the pipeline. But something like a Sonic Mania, which I'm 100% getting very shortly, 2-3 weeks perhaps, maybe when I've done Splatoon, that's getting bought on Switch because it just makes sense to have it on that platform and have the convenience there. So definitely, some of these games that can work on it developers should be looking at getting it on the platform. Because I think there's people like us that would buy it over some of the other versions.
That's it, yeah. It definitely has a selling point, doesn't it, that type of playing a game on the Switch. It's not the same as, I look at a game and I think, oh, but it looks better on PlayStation. It's got more frames, more resolution. That's what I do like about the Switch. I don't seem to focus on that so much. I'm not bothered that it's 720. I don't care that it runs 30. As long as it runs fine, smooth. I couldn't give a monkey's what frame rate. But just that feeling of being able to take it out on the go. Yeah. And just wherever I want, that is a nice incentive to have.
Absolutely. We'll move on to kind of our next part of this, and it's labelled issues.
Issues. I'm going to get some of this out.
So there's been a few widespread issues with, not widespread, but reported issues with the Switch itself, and it's all hardware related. So your one personally, which
that's
I know
the thing,
of.
a lot of the list, the little list I made, to be honest, is only one I've had out of the list of 5. And there's been some, like you say, there's been reports of others, but I don't know how many you've had any issues out of the list. Not much.
I don't think so. The list we've got left Joy-Con disconnecting. That appeared to have been a manufacturing issue.
That's right. They rectified that, didn't they?
So if you had that issue, you can send in the Joy-Con and they will send back a replacement or repair it.
Wasn't it like a little bit of foam that needed to be put in or something?
Yeah, essentially it was. I think it was it blocks other signals from interfering with it. So that's literally all they did with it. So I suppose an easy fix, but nonetheless, for those that had the issue, quite debilitating to it if it keeps switching off. Dock scratch, haven't had that issue.
No.
But that's only because I've got tempered glass on the front of it.
Right.
I think if I hadn't, I can see where it's rubbing on the tempered glass. I can see like a friction mark. I can absolutely see potentially where it's going to make a mark on that screen. So not great there.
The good thing was that came out, that issue, like day 1, day 2, people reporting that. So straight away, I'm easing it in gently. I'm not jamming that fucker in.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It warping, the handheld warping.
Yeah,
if you drops too much. I'm just going to get mine out now.
I was going to say, mine's as straight as a donkey's back leg, I think.
Fucking hell, it's like a boomerang. It looks alright.
It's got to be to do with the heat a lot. I think there was one report and some bloke said he had it on the go for like 30 hours or something. So like the dock's producing a lot of heat, so it probably fucking is going to bend if you're sitting there burning it away for 30 hours. Yeah. But no, nothing this end. Mine's straight, yours is straight. I think it's very small issues, isn't it?
It might be a slight, I don't know.
Got a little bit.
I think it's more, that's a mental thing. Now that people have said it.
It's poison, isn't it?
Yeah, it is poison. It's not certainly not noticeable if there is a slight arc in mine. Anyway, but the one that you had an actual personal issue with was the kickstand. So what was the problem and what was the resolution? Was it a pain in the arse? Explain.
It's so funny because I wanted to listen to our first day 1 initial fault. Sorry, initial fault. And I remember in that video saying, "Oh, my kickstand feels a bit floppy." I wonder if it's probably just something. I don't know. It'd probably be all right. So it turns out I was sitting there thinking for about a week. I think it lasted. And I was thinking that does seem floppy. And I started watching videos on YouTube, and I found another bloke who had it. And then it wasn't until I actually came round yours and saw how. This is going to sound horrendous. I came round yours and saw how stiff yours was. And that's when I knew that I had an issue. So I went to the doctors, and so I knew. And what it was when I look at
Mario.
When I look at my actual Switch box, there is a massive dent in the side of it. So I reckon that courier lobbed it in the back of his van. So yeah,
knocked it out of position.
That's
Was it doing flipping open, wasn't it? It kept coming open, essentially.
So every time, like when you hold it with my right hand, my fingers sort of rest on it. But what it was doing, where you're resting on it, every time I touched it, it just popped open again. And then it got to the point where I was sort of slamming it closed and trying to shut it properly. Even at one point where I sellotaped it back down. I was like, right, I've just paid fucking, what is it, $280 for this. I'm not fucking sellotaping it shut. So it got on my tits so much that I got in contact with Nintendo. And they had quite a decent little service, actually. Like, it was obviously all under warranty and that. So I ended up having to send it back, all free of charge and that. It was under warranty and whatnot. It did take a long while, though. They said it was going to be about, I don't know, I think they said like 4 to 7 days. I think it ended up being about 2 weeks, I think.
Right, yeah.
But, they said they I don't know what they did really. They must have just snapped the old one off and replaced it. You could buy replacements, but only on the American site. You couldn't now. I haven't looked here.
No.
So now it came back. It feels a bit stiff. The other day, I actually played it. It was open. I was like, oh no! But it seems to. It might have just been. I don't know what it was. It might have accidentally flipped open, but it's fine now. I can play it without it popping open. To be honest, I never used it anyway. I just wanted it sorted. I actually that Hori play stand, which is a lot better, so you can charge it twice in table. But like we mentioned earlier, I've not touched it. But yeah, that did fucking great on me. That kickstand problem. Yeah. So I googled it. There was a few people actually. It tended to be the neon one as well that seemed to be having the issues. The greys were nice and stiff.
Stern greys.
So us floppy neons over here got it. Hands wobbling out. But yeah, it has been rectified. But yeah, a real annoyance that I had to send it back and lost 2 weeks of switch time in. Yeah.
It's certainly not ideal, and there's been, it feels like it's had more issues than what you typically see for a release of hardware like this. Maybe it was rushed to market. Who knows? It basically held Zelda at ransom on it, so you can see why they thought, right, it needs to come out in March.
It was quite quick, wasn't it? When you think it was like announced, was it October? We actually found out what it was.
We had
this NX Larky, and then it's like October. Then January found out exactly what it did, and then boom, March you've got it in your hand. So you think compared to the other big consoles, it came out pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I've added an extra one onto this list of issues, and I think it's an issue, and it's storage.
Yeah.
It's not a lot there.
I'm already having to manage already. I've been downloading a few demos recently and bought a couple of indie games, so I'm now on the breadline, and I don't own a mini micro SD thing either, so that's going to have to be purchased, isn't it? Because my phone has more storage than this Switch.
It's not. Is it 32?
But with the I/O on it, or the operating system, I think it goes down to about 25, 26-ish.
Yeah, that's it. It's not ideal. And there's some games that have been announced, and they've already kind of got ahead of the game. This saying, if you don't have a micro SD card, some of the features won't work. So I think it might have been NBA. And Doom, I think the multiplayer has to go on a external storage device, and it's just like, really? Why have we only got 32 gig in 2017?
Yeah, that is mental.
Yeah.
I mean, the games are quite small themselves, aren't they? It's quite impressive because they're coming off of little cartridges and whatnot. They can compromise and crunch it down into quite small, single-digit gigabytes. But like you say, NBA and stuff coming out with more. Like the actual games are bigger than the bloody hard drive on the thing. It definitely is an issue. Definitely, I think you should now correct of you to add that on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about some of the third-party games that are coming or have just recently come out, and there's been in the last few weeks or so quite an influx of commitment, especially from Bethesda.
They seem to have given it a sniff, haven't they? I also saw we've obviously got the ones announced that were explained, but I've also heard a comment from was it Todd who's head there, saying that these won't be the only games from Bethesda. So more to come.
Yeah, so they've got Skyrim coming.
Yep.
And then I thought that's fair enough. Fucking well old game. I can see.
Yeah, there was
that's going to work.
That was in the initial trailer, wasn't it? There was like a video of someone, so we knew it was talked about, and then Todd came out and confirmed.
Yeah, but the two surprises were that Doom is also coming out, super fast, slick shooter. And then they also said next year we'll be getting the Switch version of Wolfenstein too.
Yeah, a game that's not even released yet.
They're already planning it.
Yeah, so there's got a lot of support from Bethesda there. Yeah, looking good. Have you seen any of the footage of Doom on Switch?
I think I watched. Yeah, I did. I watched the Digital Foundry. Comparison.
Yeah.
And look, it's taken a hit in places, like resolution and whatnot. Frames are down to 30, but they will come away pretty impressed with it.
Yeah. It's just like we were mentioning earlier, that the fact that type of game, you play a game like Doom, that next gen shooter, alright, it's not going to be 4K 60 FPS, but it's still the same game. You're still playing Doom 2015 or 16, whatever it was.
On shit.
Yeah, exactly. That is the selling point right there. Turds with Doom. Turds of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect there to be much support for the Switch in the first place, but to see a game of Wolfenstein and Doom planned like that kind of gives me hope that this isn't, something that is going to be completely ignored, and that developers can make modern games, if you will, outside of the Nintendo studios on this platform and make it work. So that's great news. Obviously, we've got WWE 2K18.
Yeah, that's another one to pick up and play, wouldn't it? I quite like these type of games for the Switch, because you can just pick them up, have a shit, put them down again.
Yeah, that's it. Drop them again.
Yeah.
NBA, as we mentioned, and also FIFA coming this year. But the caveat is it's not going to have the journey. No, and that is a fucking blower for me.
Yeah, because if it did, I'm probably with you on that. I've been off the PlayStation 4 version.
I'm all over that, absolutely.
Yeah, stick it on that Switch, it gets played more.
Yeah.
I bought FIFA last year. FIFA 14, I put nearly 200 hours into that.
Yeah.
FIFA 16 got 24 hours. This year's got about 10.
Yeah.
So you can see where it's going. But it's because I'm playing other games. But if I'm on a Switch, every shit I have, I can play a game of FIFA. It's getting played.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real disappointment the journey's not going to be there. That's kind of...
Yeah.
I would have actually probably 90% have got it, because I think that you can play it a little bit more casually and, just do a manager mode and play it throughout the year and do what you need to do. And then the journey mode was there. But without that, I kind of wanted to give that a go again. So for me, FIFA 18 will be the EA Access jobby next year when that drops, and I'll be trying it then. But yeah, that was a bit of a stinker, and I'm hoping that doesn't become the norm. I.e., you get like a downer or missing featured version of it. I'd rather they just didn't bother, but it don't half dent it a little bit.
No,
because then you think, right, what's wrong with it then? Is there an issue with it? But you see things like Doom, they're going to have the multiplayer suite there. Yes. It's going to have everything that the console and the PC version have. Just won't look as good. And perhaps run as in the higher frames, but they're still managing to have all that content in there. So EA obviously didn't want to put the resources behind it. I know they were saying it's been built for the ground up on the Switch with a new engine specifically for it.
Right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out when the reviews come in. But it'd be interesting to see whether any outlets review both. I.e., they do.
Yeah.
Because if it is a difference with the engine and whatnot, it plays differently potentially. Then they're not going to be the same game, really, are they anymore?
No, that's right. No, it will. And be interesting to see if it does get received well. If they sort of take it off on its own tangent.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to wait for reviews to drop on that one and see what the consensus is.
Yeah. Well, the console versions and PC's obviously there as well, but it's always reviewed on console.
Yeah.
They've started coming in the reviews for that, so hopefully. Switch will follow shortly, so I want to get their hands on it. But third party, I think overall, I would say not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Some blowers, as we've mentioned, but certainly with Bethesda just going, look, let's give this a good go.
Yep.
I think what they need to do, and what would be ideal, is for them to work towards games like Wolfenstein 2 releasing at the same time as the other platforms, because I think just having it, 'cause it's coming next year, so those that want to buy it and want to play it day one, if they've got both, they're going to opt for the one that's out, and kind of being in that zeitgeist, or that fear of missing out, people will want to play it as soon as they can if they've got the opportunity. So if they can try and develop these things, and maybe now when it's got itself established after a year or so, developers will plan in the development of a Switch version and have it released the same day. And we've seen with Ukulele as well, that's been delayed again. It's like there's no timeline set for that. And these are games that if they come out, Ukulele, if that come out day one with the Switch, that's getting bought. Getting bought,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, they need to pull their thumb out arses and get cracking.
Yeah, what do you think of the whole third party support?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some of it. I like some of the good ones. There's a few. I'm trying to think of examples that we've missed out on. They're still third party games like that Rayman Legends. That's been out on its own, hasn't it? And now they've sort of made it the definitive edition.
I've heard anything but the definitive edition, but it's called that.
Yeah, that is true. What else we got? They've seem to be bringing in a couple of the old Telltale games. Seem to be making their way on as well, don't they? I think
Minecraft.
Minecraft, another one. The Lego games, I reckon there'll be a little influx of them.
Dragon Quest Builders, I heard going on there. That was one I was going to pick up on the PS4 if that lands and it's in good state. That's getting sniffed at.
This was a surprise, actually. L.A. Noire.
Yeah, absolutely. Rockstar dipping their toes into the Switch. Yeah. GTA 5 inbound.
Oh, imagine that. That would be a freaking awesome game to play on the go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I probably would get that and play it all over again.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm happy with what's been announced so far. It's just we have to see how they get on, and like you say, they really do need to be bringing them up to scratch with the other releases. But yeah, hopefully there'll be a few more announced over the coming months. And thumbs up. Yep.
Excellent. Nintendo app / voice chat.
Cool.
Full disclosure, I've barely gone in the app. I haven't used the voice chat. You have, however. So.
I have once. We should probably put this back into the issues problem. Because, to be honest, I think I haven't seen any other information about you can use the app. All it is on Splatoon 2, I think. I don't know if there's any other games that work with it. Yeah. But yeah, me and Piper, that game I was saying I was playing with him, we set up a little lobby to play our game, and then we decided for some silly reason to use the voice chat of the Nintendo Switch app, and it was absolutely fucking horrendous. It puts you into it like reads that you're online through your Switch. It goes through like your email address or something and finds out that you're online. Then it sort of connects you in like a sort of telephone call. That's the first thing that happened. He started coming through the speaker of my phone. I was thinking, I was like literally phoning him. I had the phone to my ears talking to him. It was so poor. Then my phone goes into sleep mode and cuts him off.
So when you put it back on, did it reconnect, or do you have to do the whole...
No, you have to do the whole thing again. You have to go back out to a lobby. Apparently they have now rectified that issue. And it does work with sleep mode, but to be honest, I've got sick to death of it. I've binned it straight away. I've deleted it. Shame
that.
Had potential, but when they did announce it, everyone was sort of scratching their head. They going, what the fuck's this then?
Yeah, and it seems as though that's the way it's going to be. I don't think it's a great idea, but it is what it is. And if you want to use voice chat, I suppose you're going to have to go down that route, or perhaps you just get Discord on your phone and use that instead.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people would do. It's better.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess controller and Joy-Con variations. I'm assuming when you added this to the list, is this around the kind of like the way you can customise the console itself, essentially, with all different colour options? And
that's it. There's a few of these bundles that seem to be coming out where you're getting the Joy-Con mixtures. They also seem to be the Pro controller seems to be getting a few variations as well, which I was surprised. I've seen half of my perfect colour. I want there to be 2 lime green. My favourite colour. They've got the green and pink Splatoon, but that's only the left side. I don't think you can get a bright green right side. So
right.
There's a few third parties out there that do paint jobs on them, but I'm not sure about sending. They're fucking $70 to buy anyway, so
that is true. They're expensive to customise your Switch experience, but it's nice, isn't it? I mean, having that option to do that.
Definitely. Like I say, these bundles. You had the Arms one where it came with like yellow Joy-Cons. There's Mario one's been announced where there'll be red. What else was there? Then Splatoon obviously had the green and pink. I think that's it. And then you obviously had the two classic colours. What started? So, is there any you would be keen for? Like,
I would, but not for £70 a pop.
That's the truth.
So that's what it comes down to. I can't justify doing it by paying that. I'm happy with the kind of boring grey version, but if there's something I really liked, I'd still be apprehensive at spending that sort of money on it.
I don't know why they ain't come down, because that Pro Controller, I've seen that knocking around for about 55 in a few retailers.
Yeah.
But these Joy-Cons are stuck at 70, which is a ridiculous price.
I like the idea of doing it, but I just don't think I could sit there and be happy with spending that amount on the Joy-Cons.
I see a few sort of concept arts that people have made that look quite cool. They made them look like old Nintendo controllers. That would be cool if they did some official versions of them, but we can only dream. Nindies. Now we keep getting a few. You have your directs where you get like little announcements. Then they come out with these little Nindy conferences.
Yes.
And to be honest, any other console, I don't really give them the light of day. To be honest, I should, because I'm all for the gaming industry. I like the little man, but they don't. I don't really tend to look at indie games on other consoles, but I see my Switch as a bit of an indie platform.
So I do as well.
They come out with these little conferences, and I've been watching all of them, and there's a few of them. I started making lists of games again of all the little nindies I want to play.
Your favourite hobby? So the game is making a list. Perfect for it.
It was excellent. So I've made a little list of all the little nindies I wanted to play. Have any stuck out for you that you've seen?
I'll tell you what, I watched it. I love watching things like this. I don't know why. I love any press conference, TGS, watch the PlayStation. I don't know why. I just have an obsession with watching it, even if it's shit. And as I went through it, two things stuck out for me. One was Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, which is obviously, I think it's 4 episodes that have come out on the PC, and the 5th one is due to come out next year, and this version of it will have all 5 of those episodes. So I was like, right, that's a potential, even though I kind of already got it through Twitch Prime for free. But in a real strange turn of events, and something that you'll be probably scratching your head at, there was a game that they showcased called Polybridge. Where you basically make your own bridge and have to get the cars across the water. It's like a little
it's like a physics-based game, wasn't it?
I really like the look of that. I really like the look of that. I was interested in Morphy's Law, that shooter. I was like, no, show me that Polybridge more. That looks quite interesting.
There's some great little numbers coming up, but I forgot about that little game. That does look really cool. They started straight off the bat, didn't they? Obviously. Fast RMX, that was a bit of an indie. You had the Snipper Clips game, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got that. It's a great game. Very good cooperatively, that one. I've been playing it with the other half, and one of the few games one of the only games in fact we've played together, and always enjoyable. But where I haven't played the Switch as much, he's certainly not going to be pining for it. So need to get back on there and get that completed, because that was a great little game.
Yeah. Would Inside be classed as an indie, or do you think that's one of the bigger boys?
Well, I'd say it is. I think Playdead. What is indie nowadays? It's not even. There's no one. There's not two people making games these days as often as there was back. There was like a surge of it with things like Fez and Braid. Like they were literally just like 2 people doing the whole lot. Now they've become a lot more popular, and teams have grown. But I think there's a certain, like, if you're not published by someone and you're self-published, I class that as an indie. So, That's just the way I've always kind of looked at it. But some games just look indie, like just look a little bit lower budget or whatever. But that's not knocking it; just have that aesthetic look to it.
Yeah, definitely. You see a lot of them sort of 2D side scrollers. You get a lot of these sort of top-down turn-based games that are quite indie. See these little cartoony, self-drawn ones. The stylization is cool. I like it. But yeah, definitely heavily sort of what's the word? Invested in these Nindies, aren't they, Nintendo?
It's the perfect place for these games, though, because they just fit so well. I remember I never had a Vita, but I used to always look and think, I actually prefer to play some of these, like become almost like every indie game was on the Vita as well, and I just thought that's such a great platform to have it, like having it on a handheld, and now it looks like Nintendo are tying up all these indies, getting kind of like even exclusive launch windows for them, and it's the exact right thing to do, because if it comes out first on the Switch, not only does it make sense to play that style of game on there, you're also going to get first dibs on it there. So if you've got a Switch, you think, why the fuck not? Let's play this game before anyone else, and I've got it on a great platform.
No, definitely. So we discussed earlier about our lulls in the system, and then we also mentioned about my little reburst.
Yeah.
And that was due to a certain indie.
Yes.
So, again, watching this press conference like you, I'm the same. I get all giddy for them. They get me hyped. They get my list. They get my lists tingling. And one title that stuck out was Steamwell Big 2.
Yes.
A little indie number by a Swedish company called Form and Image and Form. I've got them mixed up. Something like that. And it's a fucking great little game. It's awesome. Excellent. I was well addicted. I was so close to buying the first one on PC because it's not out on Switch. So, and then I found out that it was free on Origin. So I picked it up on that for free after nearly paying 4 or 5 quid for it. Steamed through that, liked it, really liked it, and then played the second one and was blown away. It's a real good game. It's the soundtrack's phenomenal. It's from the same producer that did or artist that did the Hotline Miami soundtrack.
Yeah.
So it's got that sort of it's awesome. But yeah, it's a real fun game. Another one you can pick up, play for half hour. The aesthetic looks awesome. It runs perfect on the Switch. It is a perfect Switch game. I'd recommend it for anyone. Only came out on Friday, I think. So, it's been reviewing really well, and it's got my seal of approval. I'd like to give it a review once I'm done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely collect those thoughts and put it up, because not often we have little games like that are reviewed here, so we'll definitely arrange for that. I saw you banging its drum, and it's now I've got it on Origin as well. When you mentioned that it's free, so I probably will go through the first one when I get a moment. You seem like you've done it reasonably quickly, so
it's a real short game. And there's a bit of I did skip past a lot of it. Like, you had the main quests, and then there's side stuff you can do. I didn't do any of the side stuff, but that's you know what I'm like. I'm a completionist, so I have to play number 1 before I play number 2. That was simply to get through, but it's a good enough game to go back to and finish all the odds and sods. But 2 is the perfect sequel so far, is all I'm going to say.
That's great to hear. That is great to hear. Any other games in that showcase kind of earmarked?
There was a couple, there was a little 2D sort of like a sort of Streets of Rage type game, but it was called Wolver Blade, and it was sort of set in old English, sort of Game of Thrones style, sort of King Arthur age, that sort of style, and you go through like history and of all the British history and stuff. So that stuck out. It looked quite fun. I did have a list. I bloody lost it now. What else was there? Do you remember? I did send it to you, didn't I? I
think I was pissed up and lost it.
Yeah, there was a few. I can't remember. I remember that Murphy's Law. It looked like an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Bit of a just looked like a shooter, didn't it? There was a few other little ones. There was one
Super Meat Boy Forever.
That was one. Yeah, that looked quite good. There was one that they didn't really show much of. It's
Floor Kids.
What was that one? It was a really weird one called like Little Fingers or Stiff Fingers or something like that. I remember thinking, ugh.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of this game, but it didn't show much at all, but it got me interested.
Yes.
And then like the big title of the Nindies that they announced was the new No More Heroes game from young Suda4051, I think his name is Suda51. That's it. I've never played any of the others. Have you?
No, I haven't either, but it's got a lot of hype. So
Yeah. I know my mate has, and he always raves on about them. They're sort of Japanese. I think the first one was on the Wii. I think and they might have released one for the Wii U, and then now he's bringing it to the Switch. But yeah, a lot of hype behind it, like you say. So it's one I'm sniffing at now.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean they're doing a great job with it, advertising these and getting them out. And yeah, I am more than happy to have more of this stuff on Switch. I think it's the perfect place for them. Sometimes you kind of, if you buy something like that on PC or you buy it on a console, you put it on like the big 50 whatever inch telly or however your setup is, and you think, it seems like a bit of a waste. all this power under the hood, and I'm just playing this like pixelated, great 2D whatever it is. Whereas on the Switch, it's like, no, this makes sense here. This should be the home.
Right? Yeah.
Perfect. Again, if you're having a crap, stick one of them on.
Bog on.
You're absolutely taking titles.
I think that game I was just talking about, I think it might be that Kentucky Route Zero, actually, that you were just talking about. I think it might be that. Is that like where they're like going through like a sort of barn thing in the trailer?
I don't really know what it is. I've just heard that it's a really good narrative, and it's been trying to get all 5 episodes out for about 5 years. So I remember it come up on Twitch Prime for a month, so I grabbed it on there. But yeah, if they can get the package deal and get them all out on the Switch, next year, then perhaps people can jump in and play it then.
Mulaka as well was another one that stuck out to me. Looked like a sort of, I don't know, it's like a sort of not African, like a Native American. That sort of setting, and it was like a sort of open world. You can sort of transform into different animals, and it's very stylized. It looked quite good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's a good, because I was worried they weren't going to use this, because I thought this was always going to be a great idea, and I was concerned they weren't going to nail this down and go for it, but it looks like they're going all in, and I hope to see more of those in the coming months and certainly in next year. Okay, so I've got one other section here, and this is another kind of a specific item of interest for yourself, and it's Japanese eShop, and in particular getting hold of some of these region locked demos that are available. Can you explain what this is and perhaps what's happened and why it's in our 7-month impression video?
I was going to say, yes. Well, they announced from day one that the Nintendo Switch was going to be region unlocked, so you could play any games. So everyone was like, wow, that's brilliant news, awesome. Then after about a week of the Switch being available, they realised that you could create a Japanese Nintendo account and search the eShop, so you could look at all the games, because there's a few games that aren't being released in the Western countries, but you can still play them on your Switch. You just have to go over there to buy them. So people hacked. Well, I don't think it's a hack. I'm sure.
It's
just a loophole. Yeah, I think Nintendo are aware of it, and apparently you can't buy them off the store with a credit card. You have to have a Japanese credit card apparently, but you can buy Nintendo top-up cards or whatever and pay for them that way.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I did it for, like you just said, was the demos. You have like exclusive demos that you can't get on our European store. So there was a couple like Monster Hunter Double Cross. Or had a little go at that. It was good, like brilliant, but I couldn't understand a fucking word it said because it's all Japanese. So I was like, right. So I had to watch a YouTube video of someone explaining what the words meant and what the settings were, so I could actually get to the main bit and play. There's a list of about 5 or 6 games that you can all download and have a little play with. And they just run. The only downside to this was, though, it turned my news feed Japanese. So now every time a bit of news comes up, I'm just reading Japanese on my news feed. So right, but I've found a way of eradicating that. But you have to unsubscribe from all Japanese channels, which it automatically adds you to. But then it stays there until new news updates come. So I've got to wait now. I've got to read Japanese for the next sort of week or two
until they filter through.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's definitely a good way to sort of get a taste for some of these games that you're not going to be able to play. Obviously, a lot of if you're into Japanese anime and stuff, like I watch a bit of that. There's going to be a lot more of them games sort of released over there that we won't get over here. So fans of things like One Piece and I don't know, a few Dragon Ball Z games you're probably going to get over there that you ain't going to get here. So you can test some of that and have a little look. But yeah, it's definitely a cool feature that sort of a lot of people won't know and won't even bother making an account, but it's real simple and there's YouTube videos of how to do it and it's worth a little go just to get some free demos.
It's definitely top tip there for those that are interested in that. And just be wary that your newsfeed might turn Japanese. So as long as you're aware of that, that's not a problem at all. Okay, so we're kind of coming towards the back end of our discussion list agenda, and we've got expectations for 2017, or the rest of 2017, I should say. For me, quite simple. Yep. It's Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey to see you out. Oh, and Sonic.
And Sonic, maybe Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle as well, if I get time to. But what is that? Similar sort of expectations for you? Is that what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I reckon.
I don't think we're going to get anything that's going to blow us away now. Is there any going to be big surprises for 2017?
No, there's a few I was sniffing at that have come out. One that we haven't mentioned at all, actually, was Pokken Tournament DX.
Oh,
Another game that was on the Wii U that they've remastered and made a definitive edition for the thing. So, but it's one of these games that they don't seem to drop in price. You know, even not ARMS, 1-2 Switch, what was released on day one, that still hasn't gone down in price. I was thinking if that went down to about 10-15 quid, I'd pick that up, but you're still looking at about 30-35 quid for that. So
it's Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, so much like yourself, Mario is obviously the big one that I want to get done. I've been sniffing at Rayman, to be fair, as well. It all depends how much more time I invest into the Switch. I'd like to hope to get a few decent like hours in, at least a week as well. I want to get rid of some of the big heavy hitters on your PlayStations, your Xboxes, and then give the time. I'll make a thing now. I'm going to just leave my Switch by the toilet, so, like, say, every time I go for a dump, I can actually play it. Another one we didn't mention, I don't know if is it this year? Is Rocket League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely forgot
about that. So if that comes out this end, that's another one that will be great. So if that could come out, if it is saying the end of December, so it might not be this year. But if it is, that is definitely one I would be sniffing at for this year. But for me, all eyes on Mario.
Excellent. And we'll move into our closing, I guess, our closing thoughts, and perhaps what we want or perhaps expect out of 2018. So, my opinion on 2018, I'm a little bit concerned because we've had Zelda, we're having Mario Kart,
we've
had surprises like Rabbids, we've had ARMS, we've had Splatoon, which is now a new IP they're going with, and we've had Mario Kart. What's left?
Smash Brothers have got to be.
Metroid Prime we've seen a logo of, but that ain't coming next year.
No.
I'll see how that's arriving. I'm a little bit worried that first party wise or like, you know, Mario or Mario focused like IP stuff that we haven't seen or been announced.
What else got announced?
Might be a bit barren.
We had them two, was it? Yoshi and Kirby, was it?
Yeah, Kirby. Yeah.
So they're right, but they're not. Yeah, they're not ones. They're not going to get you. Well, they're certainly getting me hyped as much as you would for a Smash or a Mario, a Zelda. People have been talking about a new Zelda already, and I'm thinking, well,
won't you finish the first one?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, that is true. So yeah, I'm with you on that. There's definitely. I'm wondering if once we get this first batch of third-party games out the way, so your FIFAs, your NBAs, your Dooms, and all that, and if they start doing well, then I wonder if we'll see an influx of them early doors 2018.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
One thing that I really am desperate for is, and I'd be happy with just this perhaps next year coming early and not having to have like 5 or 6 top tier games out of like their first party stuff or using their IPs, but virtual console.
Ah, yeah, that would be good.
If that lands with SNES compatibility and other bits and pieces, and if they can get some Wii U games on there or Wii games like Galaxy 2, I'm really up for playing that.
I've just remembered what would make my 2018.
Here we go.
Bayonetta 2. Oh, that would be good.
That's the one. Yeah, I've got the original Bayonetta thanks to Games with Gold, and Bayonetta 2 obviously was a Wii U exclusive. So if again, get old Platinum on the case, get him to get that slapper out.
So yeah,
for us on.
No, get her.
Switch.
She is a saucy cow, that woman, but yeah, she will get the milkers out for a tenner, I believe. But yeah, no, that would be brilliant. But I'm with you on that. I think that would be the absolute creme de la creme for 2018 if we get a virtual console, and a fucking working voice chat would be helpful.
Yeah, and cloud saves.
Yes, get that cloud up in here.
Lose that Switch with 30 hours of Zelda through it. You ain't going to go back and... Do you know what I mean? Something happens, it corrupts on the system.
Ain't going out of your house, cloud. Is it? Ain't
Reggie, you fucker, get it in the cloud. Ain't hard.
It's not leaving your house, is it, until you get them clouds?
It genuinely has put me off taking it out just in case I lost it and lost the saves. I'd be devastated that I lost the hardware, obviously. I had to buy a new one. It'd be a financial blunder, but I'd be more annoyed at losing the Zelda save or something that I was halfway through save.
60 hours you clocked on that, so...
Yeah, I know I was going to start it again, but I don't like the idea of it disappearing.
Nah.
Especially over something that in 2017 is avoidable, because there's cloud save services on PS4. There's even bloody Telltale have got cloud save services on the newer games on PC.
There's cloud... Yeah, there's cloud saves on my fucking emails. It's so easy to do.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's just like, get that done, and then it's definitely an on-the-go console for me. Yeah. I'd actually take it to work and play it on the train or something.
Yeah.
As it is, I'm like, no, I don't want to lose it.
Nah.
So that'll be my 2018. But closing thoughts then.
Yeah.
Satisfied.
I am
over
very
the moon,
satisfied
content.
Indeed. I'm happy with what they've released. I'm not happy with myself, really. I'm disappointed in myself with how little time I've give it, and that is due to distractions. I'll hold my hands up. It's not been... I've obviously had a child this year as well, so gaming time has been limited.
Yes.
But really, with this type of console, that's not really an excuse, because it is that type of console you can pick up and play for 10 minutes. Rather than you sit down on your PlayStation, you're in for the long haul, aren't you, really, if you're playing on
absolutely
something else. But I'm happy with... It's been quite like this whole conversation. It's just shown like, whoa, there was a lot that's happened in this last 7 months. So yeah, I'm impressed with it. I look forward to the end of the year. I have some concerns for next year, but also fingers crossed it could be another good year. And I think it's doing well, isn't it? Nintendo are smashing it. It's their best-selling, fastest-selling console. Yeah. It seems to be back in stock in places now, but there's still demand for it. And it's all thumbs up here.
Excellent. Yeah, I would echo those thoughts. I'm disappointed in myself in not playing it as much. I've had no excuse other than other games and distractions. So definitely something it's been positive. I think overall, I guess as well. I'd go with it, and just a few bits, just iron out the bollocks. Get party chat. Fuck it, you know what? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen at the end of the day. But get them cloud saves. Get me that virtual console, and big thumbs up for 2018. And we will see. But I think positive, and a purchase that I'm happy I made. I wasn't sure whether I would, despite not playing it as much as probably it deserves. I still enjoyed every time I've picked it up.
It's weird how our whole group has done the same thing. We all had
a lot of people got it.
A lot of people bought them, and they've all, Sir Dave, Paper, they're all talking about dusting them off and loading. He's only had his a week and he ain't even turned his on.
Hall's got it. I think Hall's been playing it decently, but again, we've all just kind of had it there and not made the effort with it.
Neglect.
Which is a shame. Neglect.
Salmon is
wrong
the only
love.
Yeah, that is true.
Salmon is,
Should have got him here to have a chat, really. He is King Switch. He's probably put more hours than all of us combined.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he plays on train, so he was in the right there.
Right, we'll draw us to a close then. 7-month impressions of the Nintendo Switch in the bag. If you want to get in contact with us or find out what we're up to, all the social medias /Dimp Digital. Obviously, Twitter's @Dimp Digital. The YouTube channel, if you're watching this, then subscribe, like, comment, do what you want, do something, support us. Need to make some money out of this.
Got kids to feed.
Got them sponsorships knocking on the door and they say, how many viewers you got? And I go, well, 13 last week. So.
Go away, PewDiePie. We're not interested, mate.
Yeah. You're daft racist. Nothing more for us to say here, though, apart from thanks for your time.
Ta-da!
What a fucking You're daft racist.